You missed some important news from the LGBTQ+ community this week. To ensure you are current, we are recapping that important news. Here's what you may have missed.
Here is why RuPaul's Drag Race laws targeting drag shows are proliferating in America. Recently, RuPaul's Drag Race began its 15th season on television. Long familiar at gay bars, drag has been pushed more into the mainstream due to the popularity of RuPaul's Drag Race. Drag queen story hours also now take place in libraries across the country. Parents take children to hear books with titles like Be Who You Are, read aloud by people in drag. Supporters say the readings promote self-acceptance, diversity, and tolerance. Meanwhile, lawmakers across the country are engaged in a different sort of race, to restrict drag performances in the name of protecting children. At least 36 bills in 15 states are proposing rules that make it harder for people to perform in drag. Some states, including Texas, are seeking to classify any venue hosting a drag show as a sexually oriented business, which brings costs and restrictions on where it can be located. Arkansas is among states also trying to prevent public funds from going to drag shows. This is a reaction to the news that some cities have used taxpayer money to support Drag Queen Story Hour. New York City reportedly spent around $200,000 on it from 2018 to 2022. In Missouri, North Dakota, and Tennessee, exposing a minor to performance would become a felony, which carries jail time.
In an action directly aimed at banning the pride flag from being flown, the City Council of Huntington Beach, California has voted to exclusively allow government flags to be flown over City Hall. In 2021, the City Council voted unanimously to fly the pride flag in June to honor Pride Month, but are now arguing doing so is discriminatory against other groups. Councilman Pat Burns, Republican, who led the effort to ban the flag, said in a statement that the city, quote, should avoid actions that could easily or mistakenly be perceived as divisive. All are equally valued members of our community, and none are to be treated differently or discriminated against, end quote. He did not mention the pride flag specifically, but said the city should only fly the American flag, the California state flag, the POW MIA flag, the Huntington Beach city flag, and occasionally the Orange County flag. The only other previously approved flag was indeed the pride flag. According to Voice of the OC, citizens were against the change in rules during the public comment period. Many letters were also sent to the city about the issue. Of those letters, 228 supported keeping the pride flag, while only 46 supported banning it.
We crew up sports. NBA's Cam Thomas gets $40,000 fine for no homo comment. Cam Thomas of NBA's Brooklyn Nets has apologized for making an anti-gay comment after the Nets win over the Chicago Bulls Thursday night, but he's still getting a $40,000 fine. ESPN reports that Thomas and Spencer Dinwiddie, who the Nets just acquired in a trade with the Dallas Mavericks, were being interviewed by Jared Greenberg of TNT after the game at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. After the trade, Dinwiddie had said the Nets may not have gotten the best players, but they got the best looking, and the Nets needed some help in that department. When Greenberg asked Thomas about the remark, he said, "We already had good looking guys, no homo."
Democratic Representative Robert Garcia trolled fellow gay freshman lawmaker George Santos yesterday with a meme the serial liar should understand. His Twitter post showed RuPaul's meme flashing Katara and suggesting George Santos to sashay away. Katara was Santos's drag name. Garcia, who represents California's 42nd district, didn't come for Santos just with the memes. Yesterday, he sponsored a resolution to have the Republican fabulist expelled from Congress. Garcia told reporters outside Congress Santos's continued pattern of fraud and deception is especially worrisome to our own LGBTQ+ community, and it's time we act and immediately expel him from Congress, end quote. As Republicans now control the House, the resolution will likely fail even if it reaches the voting stage. Quizzed about Robert Garcia's objections to him, Santos told a reporter, quote, "I don't even know who Robert Garcia is," end quote. Recently, Santos was interviewed on Newsmax, where he again tried to downplay his lies and push them as resume embellishments. Claiming to want to set the record straight, he said he never worked for Goldman Sachs or Citigroup directly, but he did work through direct contracts for those firms.
The Village People told Queer America to go west, and 2.7 million LGBTQ plus did. In July 2021, for the first time ever, the Census Bureau initiated a series of nationwide surveys that included questions about sexual orientation and gender identity, and those numbers have continued to be tracked by many groups. The results are notable, especially for California. The state has the largest lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender population, 2.7 million, and that's 2.7 million of LGBT in our nation. Texas is second with 1.8 million, and Florida is third with 1,750,000 LGBT population. Here are some of the key facts about California's large and diverse LGBT population. California's LGBT community includes a broad range of identities, not all of which are captured in the census data. According to this data, about half of LGBT adults in California describe themselves as bisexual, similar to the rest of the United States. Slightly over 1/3 describe themselves as gay or lesbian, and 15% as transgender. So this week, we look at where we are in the LGBTQ plus population and what states we live in, and also some that we don't. California's share of adults who identify as LGBT is 9.1%, and that is considerably higher than the share in the rest of the nation, which averages 7.9%. And even Texas had 8.4% of the LGBT population. According to this data, about half, 49% of all LGBT adults in California describe themselves as bisexual, which is similar to the rest of the country. Keep watching the only television news in the world from our LGBTQ plus community, and stay informed on everything that is important for and about our diverse LGBTQ plus community.